Hey guys, this is going to be a bit more of a exciting video because I get excited about this topic. It is very fascinating and, and very frustrating for guys sometimes, which is a bit of a battle that can happen in the courting process with women. And there's been many great stories, Shakespeare stories and things about this exact topic, which is the battle between men for a specific woman in a courtship process. Now, you got to remember, guys, females are the ones that are generally more selective, okay? So, especially one that has high value and relatively attractive, their DMs are going to be full of guys, right? But there's going to be a lineup of guys there. So, in, say, you meeting them and even beginning stages dating or getting to know them, you might have to deal with other guys. So it becomes not just a situation which is an easy, not easy dynamic with women. It's just you and her. Like, that's not easy within itself. Now there's external variables you got to be dealing with at the same time, throwing a monkey wrench in the situation. And I made a video kind of referring this the other day, which is emotional control. You have to be very much in emotional control at this point. Okay, so essentially, what can happen is, I'll be with you. It's a bit of a sperm warfare. Sperm warfare. Bet you haven't heard that term before. Okay, but it's true. Which is, there's different genetics being thrown at a woman in competition, okay? Guys, we produce millions and millions and millions of sperm all the time. Women, they only have a handful of finite eggs, which they've had since they were a fetus in their mom themselves, okay? They only have a handful of them, which they drop every month. Men, we're just spitting out things. So for men, it's more of a numbers game, okay? And women, there's because they only have a select number of eggs to deal with, they select the men in the receptive aspect of things, okay? And that's very evolutionary, and that translates all through nature as well. Like, if you think about trees, men trees just spitting out pollen everywhere, and then I get allergies and shit. I'm getting allergies off fucking tree cum, essentially. That's what it is. It's like the fertile sex organs, male sex organs of trees and things like that. So it's a numbers game in that regard, and because it is, men are kind of, a lot of guys anyway, are a bit left behind in that numbers game. But I don't want to, I mentioned that before in other videos, but I want to make this the fact that there's going to be competition for the prize, the genetic prize, which is reproducing with a female, okay? Especially a hot one. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever dated a hot girl before. It is a constant battle with other guys, okay? On guys trying to get, like, just straight up testing you because you might be with her, and then a guy will come in. And if your girl's secure, she'll let them, she won't even have anything to do with them. But sometimes, a guy will kind of sneak in and charm them, and you're dealing with a guy charming your girl right in front of you, essentially. And he knows what he's doing. She's just emotional and trying to be nice. But, like, so what do you do at that point? And this might be the point in time where you're just in the beginning stages of things. So, the guy walks in with the girl you're with and starts charming her. Or what are you going to do? Take a step back? Okay, I'm just going to go get a drink over here, go to the bathroom. Meanwhile, they're fucking getting really chummy. You're pretty much just, like, waving the white flag at that point. In surrendering, you lost the sperm war, essentially, because he's being very assertive and you're being passive. And in like other videos I talked about, that's the type of thing where you're going to be demonstrated in her mind subconsciously. She won't even think about it. She just automatically, you're not in my selection anymore because you displayed anti-seductive, traits that does not make your sperm compatible for reproduction with me. That's what it comes down to be honest. Now, I'm talking about a very genetically very like evolutionary based, but you have to understand that this is why this is the case, and I have to in the competition of things, okay, with other men. So okay, you don't back off like a bitch. Okay, so what do? You maintain good posture and you maintain proximity to her, so you don't like back off from her. Okay, so you're like with her in this, and so that forces him like he's not going to get close to her, right? And but in doing so, you have to stay very much centered. And at a certain point, something that he says that he's trying to control the whole theme of the conversation, flip on him, and kind of like poke fun of him. Sometimes a lot of way. Now, I don't want to get in specific advanced strategy because I got a whole list of things I want to talk about here when it comes down to this. But when it comes down to the numbers game, again, I just gotta reiterate this that guys, it's about you have to set yourself apart from other guys, and in doing so, you have to compete with other guys. A lot of the time, it's a competition for hot women. But this doesn't end. Even if you see, God bless you, you get a hot wife. It's a never-ending thing, man. Okay, let's lay that out there. So how do you? I kind of touched upon this. How do you handle other guys without losing controls? Okay. So again, you're meeting a woman. You're at the dance club. A guy comes in and he's poking in there to sense whether you guys are secure or not, whether you guys are a couple, right? And to test the waters. Okay. How do you deal with that? This is a monkey wrench. You're throwing a monkey wrench in your game. All of a sudden, you got to deal with this motherfucker, and then not just, the whole selective process, which is complicated with women in itself. Man, that's stressful, right? Shut that mind up for a sec. Shut that emotions down, and keep your goddamn cool. Don't get all reflexive, defensive, and twitchy and, nervous, because that's what that guy's looking for. And to be honest, now that I told you what that guy's doing, you can even do what he did yourself to, if you see a situation where a guy's with a girl's with a guy, and you can tell that they're not technically together, he might be friend zoned or something. Well, then you can do the exact same thing. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going in there testing the waters. It's going to be how they react to it. Okay, and it's just going to be like how you react if somebody else tries to do that with you. So keep that calm, confident demeanor. That speaks a lot louder than any type of, trying to make a point or aggression or things like that. You can just be calm, confident, standing there cool in that situation. And eventually, if you just see that you're not bothered by it, the girl will gravitate towards you because that's the sexy trait they're actually looking for in the end. If you're getting reactive and they sense that you're being reactive and nervous, then they're going to get nervous and things and potentially attach that nervousness towards you, and all of a sudden they're not attracted to you anymore. But here's the thing. There's going to be a certain point in time if they cross the line where you have to assert yourself. Okay, you can't be totally passive, and body language in itself is not going to suffice. And some men can be more aggressive than others. Like they might come in there and take a pot shot at you, like try to get under your skin a bit, right? And sometimes you stand your ground assertively, but I wouldn't recommend it so much if it's in the beginning stages of relationship. But like, say I'm been dating somebody at least for like a few weeks, somebody tries to fuck over, I would be a bit more like possessive with the girl I'm with because she's with me. Okay, buddy, take a walk. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Women observe how a man handles competition and how you deal with that competition. Like they know the game. They know how this works. That they're the receptive ones. They're the ones making the choices between, especially the hot ones, with like a multitude of guys. And by multitude, I can mean a few dozen with a hot girl. Okay, at one time. We have a choice between dozens sometimes in modern society with internet and everything of potential suitors. Okay? So it can be a bit tricky with that with hot women sometimes. So sometimes I don't even go for I wouldn't even go for the super hot women. Although if you can set yourself apart from them, then that's great. But even a mildly attractive woman will still have multiple suitors. So, but they're not going to be as narcissistic because they're not just getting bombarded with male attention all the time. That can kind of corrupt some people, I think. Little side note, maybe I'll make a video with this. Not all the time, but hot women, they're so used to negative and male attention. It's and then you give positive male attention yourself, they're not receptive to it because they're just used to a lot of male attention. Yeah, right. So find yourself a valuable woman, and the other thing I gotta say is that sometimes being high value man, you can flip the script about I was saying women are selective. How about you be selective? And if they sense that, again, going back to the hot woman, if there was a hot woman and all of a sudden she's like, wait, this guy's selecting me? Wait, that doesn't make sense. And then all of a sudden there's a curiosity, and that curiosity sparks attraction. So you can be a bit selective yourself, okay, and that's showing confidence, and that might set you apart from other competition too. 100% it would. So then I guess I should mention about the long-term side of things that you're with a woman, you're not going to be with her 100% of the time. She's going to be at work, she's going to be at the gym, she'll be on the street, in the supermarket. And if she's hot, relatively hot, there's going to be guys all the time trying to ask her number, trying to talk with her. Okay? So this competition continues afterwards, and the most important thing I would mention to that is, so you got to be a good husband at that point, a good partner, because if you slip up and if you're not being so good in any way, or in essential ways, then they could easily break up with you and be with somebody the next week. Essentially, it's often what happens. I'm sorry to say, it sucks, but it happens. So again, maintain value, confidence, preserve that relationship in a way that's going to keep them long term. So the attraction game never stops. The game never stops. You think a lot of guys think about the game as just they do it until they meet that right woman, and after they can forget about it. No, you got to continue with everything that made you seductive in the first place, and that's why being genuine is key, because those seductive, genuine qualities you're just going to translate into later years, because it's not like you're always putting on a mask. You're just who you are, and that's attractive. So be yourself. So the real battle, sometimes the battle is won before the fighting begins. You don't have to fight a guy off in some competition. The battle is won before even that begins, and it's just showing that value of who you are, right? And guys will first either back off because they sense that you're a valuable guy, not to be somebody you fucked with, or maybe you're muscular and they're not going to fuck with you anyway because you're I don't want to fuck with this guy, and he's with the girl he's with. And by being composed and by your whole tone of things of how you project yourself, both the woman and the guy who's trying to have competition will in the end have respect for you. So the woman will have respect for you, the guy will respect you enough not to fuck with you. And if all goes well, natural selection will work in your favor, and you'll pass on those genetic compounds inside of her, which will grow a baby, and you'll be happy, and that baby will have babies, and that baby will have babies, and that baby will have babies until eternity, which in 10 generations we're guiding humanity towards a greater thing, because women selected good guys, and now we have a great future. Was it weak men create hard times or something? Well, we're not going to have a bunch of weak men because our women selected good men. That makes sense? I hope so. I'll leave it there. What are your thoughts on this video? Blending some kind of philosophical, interesting concepts with evolutionary and as well with modern game theory. What are your thoughts? Peace.